Gusii perspective on culture issues through Senator Mogeni Eric.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, for the record, I want to state that for once I agree almost entirely with this bill that has been processed and sent to us by our brothers and sisters in the National Assembly. And it's very enriching, Mr. Speaker, sitting next to my colleague, Senator Wambua. I've learned today that the Kambas, we have some Kambas in Paraguay. So if I ever travel there, I would like to see whether I will get somebody who resembles Wambua, and I'll report back that you have your people in Paraguay. Yeah, Mr. Speaker, culture is rich. And you know, our Constitution was very deliberate in Article 11 when the drafters, and I think this came from Bomas, and it was refined by the Committee of Experts and passed at the referendum. Article 11, Mr. Speaker, says that culture is the foundation of our nation. And that statement would not have been put there if those who participated in drafting our Constitution did not acknowledge the importance of culture. And Mr. Speaker, culture it's a unifying factor. Mr. Speaker, in our Gusii beliefs and culture, we have a very strong belief that we Gusiis and Merus are cousins. And we have traced, and we know that somewhere in Tigania East, there is a location called Akivi. You know, the Merus could not pronounce Gusii, so they called that location Akivi. You know, and when you approach a lady and you are a Gusii, they will say, you know, we know you Gusiis, you have timbers like Merus. So culture is unified. In my early days, when I used to sell in a shop in Migori, where Senator Kajwang comes from, the ladies there used to call me Jagot. There is no day they called me by my name. They used to call me Jagot, the person from the hill, you know. And you feel nice. That's how nice it is. Imagine when you get somebody. If I find Senator Kajwang calling me Jagot, I feel nice, and I call him Jakanyanam. We connect, you know, through culture. But when you are calling me Senator Mogeni and I call you Senator, we don't connect. But when we relate through the whole culture, Mr. Speaker, you feel nice. I spent, I think, over 6 years in my early days schooling in Kericho, Mr. Speaker. I was in primary school, I was in Kericho. In my high school, I was in a school called Kabianga. Kabianga is, I think, that's the village where Majority Leader, Senator Cheruiyot, comes from. And you know, we have a strong belief, Mr. Speaker, that Gusiis were residing in that region, Kabianga. And we only moved because we felt it was so cold, our children were dying, so we call it Kabianga. Kabianga in Gusii means things have refused to work, Kabianga. And Senator, if you know, there is a school, I schooled at Kabianga myself. Yeah, there are people, Mr. Speaker, I used to visit, and they used to tell me that, you know, where your clan, you know the Bocheri clan. That's where CS Chirichir, he comes from that clan. When I was in Kabianga, now my teacher can't punish me. I used to escape at times in the evening. I go to Gusiis around Kabianga, and they could welcome me and say, you are one of our own. Near Kwabitungu, if you know Kwabitungu Secondary School. Yes, there is a clan there you call Mabasik. The Mabasik, Mr. Speaker, when you come to Gusii, those are the Ababasi, the Ababasi clan. There is one you call I think you call Motoborik. Those are, yes, Motoborik, those are Abatobori. So this bill is telling us, Mr. Speaker, that we should unify the country by making our people to understand our roots, our heritage, where you came from. And you will find that all these communities, we had a lot we are doing in common. You know, if you follow, Senator, what was his name? Senator Langat, Dr. Langat. Christopher Langat used to tell me that his grandmother is from Gusii. Yeah, when I was the chairman, president of Law Society in 2007, and I'd invited CS Agriculture then, the current president, Dr. William Ruto, and I went to his private office to hand him a letter of invitation and invite him to come and address lawyers as a guest. He told me his great-grandmother comes from Gusii, and he says, you know, Gusii and us, we have a connection. So I'm really happy that as Kenyans, we have acknowledged that we need to celebrate our culture and pass this law, Mr. Speaker, that will allow our children to understand some of these things, Mr. Speaker. Nowadays, I attend functions, wedding functions, Mr. Speaker, and you find people are coming and saying, we want 1 million. That's totally against our culture. Me, I know that in the Gusii culture, when you are marrying, Mr. Speaker, you take 5 cows and 1 bull. That's our Gusii culture. And when I was negotiating, you know, dowry, when I was marrying my wife Jacqueline, my sweetheart, I traveled all the way to Luo Nyanza, and I told the Luos that for me to go back and tell my people that I've gotten a wife, 4-legged animals must walk to your boma. And that's what we did with my elder brother, Kimaiga. We took 4-legged cows, 5 of them, all the way to Luo Nyanza with a bull. And then I said, now, I've gotten a wife. We need to document this culture. The Gen Zs, our young children, will never understand this culture. And I'm sure, Mr. Speaker, even in the Meru... there's something from Paraguay.
Yes. let us get the...
Is it information? I need to give you permission. Is it a point of order? Point of information?
What is it? Is it a point of order? Point of order.
Okay.
Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I know the senator for Nyamira is flowing very well. But he has twice made reference to 4-legged cows, Mr. Speaker. And I'm wondering, I mean, could there be a 3-legged cow somewhere, a 2-legged? What are these 4-legged cows that he is talking about, Mr. Speaker? Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I think my good friend, Senator Wambua, he should liaise with his party leader, who is our Korera, is our in-law. And he knows when you come to Gusii, you tell us you brought a cow, it is not complete till you say a 4-legged animal. You can slaughter one and say you brought a cow to us. We want one walking, 4-legged animal walking to the bomb, Mr. Speaker. So I was saying, Mr. Speaker, that I know even in Meru culture, and my niece is married there, you have a very good culture on how you conduct weddings, Mr. Speaker. I want these things to be documented so that our children can know. If they want to understand about culture, there is a law they can make reference to. Mr. Speaker, even issues of circumcision. In our days, Mr. Speaker, we used to go for circumcision with age group, our age group. Like me, the people who went to circumcision with me, they can never oppose me politically because we have a very, very strong connection. We know the 5 of us, I was the first one to face the knife, and all these others. We have a very strong bond of friendship, Mr. Speaker. Nowadays, we are taking our children to hospital. The community never celebrates their passage of, we used to call it what? A passage of right, you know. Yes, right of passage, Mr. Speaker. Now, you wake up and somebody tells you, my son now is a man. You say, when did this happen? No. I took him to hospital. Mr. Speaker, let's go back to our culture. In those days, Mr. Speaker, circumcision was a big thing. You attend a circumcision, there is dancing, you eat, you enjoy, and the whole village knows this boy now has become a man, Mr. Speaker. I feel sad, Mr. Speaker, that as a senator, the people of Nyamira have not given me an opportunity to attend any of these functions because we have totally killed our culture, Mr. Speaker. There is nothing wrong, Mr. Speaker, for the community to know their children, because we say children belong to the community. So when you do these celebrations, which the Constitution of Kenya have a long-lasting friendship. I was happy when Senator of Narok here invited us, was it last year? Yeah, to go and attend a celebration of his son. And I was also invited by the MP for Narok West, Tongoyo. That's what we want, Mr. Speaker. Yeah, and my friend Senator Hombua told me some times back that in appreciation of that rite of passage, that culture, he took a bull to his son, Mr. Speaker. That boy will grow up appreciating culture, Mr. Speaker. I was invited maybe 4 years ago by my good friend Governor Munya to attend a naming ceremony of his son. That's when I learned that the Merus, there is a time, I think when your boy is around 16, you do a ceremony where you now name your son properly. And I was happy to see the Meru elders, the Jurinchekes there, appreciating that for them that is a big ceremony. That's what we want, Mr. Speaker. Even in marriage, Madam Mr. Speaker, sir, there is a way you address your wife in culture. You don't wake up, for example, and say, "Where tabita kuja hapa?" No. In culture, there is a way you address your wife. But our children may not know. You know, like me, I can't just wake up and call my wife Jacqueline. No. There is a traditional name I refer to her. And everybody knows. I call her Omwanji. Yeah? Yes. That's how I address her. And when I even was this, when they hear me say that, they say, yes, this son of ours understands culture, Mr. Speaker. That's what we want to put down in our laws, so that our children also, Mr. Speaker, pick some of these very, very good cultures. We don't want to say the only word you can call your spouse is sweetheart. No. Or honey. No. They are very good words. I'm sure even the Kambas have, the Maasais have, the Kipsigis have. We all have these words. I'm sure if Thabit has crossed to the Merus, there is a word Meru will call her and she feels nice. Culture. Celebration of culture, Mr. Speaker. In fact, if you read Article 159, if I move to another point about dispute resolution, you know the Constitution acknowledges that in our various societies, we had ways of resolving disputes. The one which was famed that a friend of mine wrote a thesis when we were at law school was the Jurincheke. Governor Munya's thesis was on Jurincheke. He wrote on Jurincheke's role in dispute resolution as we were finishing our LLB degree. And there are so many disputes, Mr. Speaker, that should never go to our courts of law, that can be resolved by the Jurinchekes, Mr. Speaker. I even saw, I think there was an attempt when Kawira Mwangaza governor was facing impeachment. I think the Jurincheke tried to arbitrate because the society acknowledges that there is a role our wise old wazes can play in resolving some of these things. In Gusii, we had I think we used to call it ritongo. That's why people used to go to discuss and resolve disputes. I hope we shall enrich this bill, Mr. Speaker, by elevating the role that our culture plays in dispute resolution. Some of these things like disputes arising out of succession, Mr. Speaker, if you have, unfortunately, you have lost a parent, you have disputes within a family, these are things that can be solved by our wazees who understand our culture. They know how you share property when somebody has died. When good things used to happen, I don't know about the Kamba culture, but as Mr. Speaker, when rain came, that used to be a celebration, because I can see this bill is saying that we should make a provision through laws passed by our counties, or now you do some of these celebrations. Why we used to celebrate rain is because we want to thank our gods. Mr. Speaker, when God has brought you rain, you celebrate. And we used to have songs for them. Forget about the ones you are seeing nowadays by Embarambamba and the others. We used to have good songs celebrating rains. Our names, Mr. Speaker, the names that we were given as our connection, I know in Meru you call Mogeni. In my culture, people know that I'm called Mogeni because we were visitors somewhere. That's how we got the name Mogeni, visitor. That's what it means. The same thing, we share that with Meru. If I was to name, if I marry from another tribe and we want to give that lady a name, we used to call them Kwamboka, meaning you crossed a bridge. Mostly we used to give it to the Luo ladies who have crossed over from Luoland to Gusii. We call them Kwamboka. If you hear somebody call Mora, Gusiis used to say Mora talks a lot. Everywhere Kipita Kisikia Maneno, they will say something. Mora. You hear somebody call Makori, Makori was born somewhere on the road. Yeah? That's why they are called Makori. Mr. Speaker, if we don't preserve these things, our children will never know about them. If you go to, finally, Senator Cheruiyot, you know the Kabianga area is predominantly SDA, that area. It's because those were the first missionaries to reach Gusii. Not that the Catholics were not good people, but those were the first people to reach there. If you go to Kabianga area, there are so many people who go to the SDA church because of the background. Senator, if you know Titus Korir, when I was in school, he used to be the MD of Kenya Finley. Yes, Kenya Finley. His father is called Sabok from Gusii. So you people and us, we are one. Let politics not divide us. We are one people. Yeah, this is why this bill is nice. Yeah, yes, we are one people. Yeah, you know me, Mamze is a young man, so I have to tell you this culture. Because the people who are in his location, Kabianga, the larger part of Kericho, and us, we are one people, I'm telling you. If you go and sit with those Wazees, they will tell you. Me, when I see Chirichiri, I know Chirichiri is one of us. Because he has, his blood is from the Gusii people. So I support this bill, Mr. Speaker, with a lot of excitement. And I hope once it's enacted, our governors can take the front line in implementing.
Thank you, Senator Mogeni. This is a very entertaining bill. Let's